Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Moeed. My group members are Mia Muhammad Umair, Muhammad Usama Shahid, Muhammad Nu, and Muhammad Hasham. Today we will be talking about deviance. Is now let us see its definition first. So, deviance is a violation of established contextual, cultural, or social norms, whether folkways, mores, or codified law. So now let us move towards its explanation first. The society in which we live exists because we live together. If we will not live together, the society will no longer exist. We have a common interest in society, which is peace. For this, the government has made some certain laws and rules, and some are our own norms to communicate with each other properly. For example, when we say Assalamu alaikum while meeting each other, or we say sorry when we hit someone or while we hurt someone, so what are all these? These are norms. So when all these norms are broken, this is called deviance. Now deviance can be either good or bad. For example, a person is involved in robbery. So what it will be? It will be bad deviance. On the other hand, you are taking an injured person to the hospital in your car. On the way, you break the traffic signal to reach the hospital quickly so that the life of the person could be saved. Although you break the rule, but your intention behind this was good, so it will be included in good deviance. Now Muhammad Usama Shahid will continue further.
Okay, so what I have to highlight is the theory of deviance in accordance to the sociological perspectives. Basically, there are four primary sociological speculations of deviance that exist. The first one is there is a structural functional theory, also known as functionalism. The second one is social strain, also known as the string theory. The third one is the labeling theory, and the fourth one is the conflict theory. Okay, so let's jump on to the first one, functionalism. Functionalism states that the society works harmoniously because everyone does their part. And what that means is that society is a system of interconnected parts that work together in harmony to maintain a state of balance and a social equilibrium for the whole situation. For instance, we cannot isolate the work of generators from our offices, from our schools, from our from the from a company, from an organization. Why you may ask? Because of the generators, they clean all our stuffs, and if they are not in our company, how are we gonna cope in the office with bad odor, dirty floors? Obviously, we would not want to step on a dirty floor as soon as we enter the office in the morning, right? So the functionalism basically opposes the conflict theory, which I will highlight in a few minutes. Functionalists believe that social is a gradual process. Socialist is a gradual process of increasing the complexity and structural differentiation. Okay, so the second one is social string theory, also known as string theory, the fundamental sociological clarifications of deviance. Social strain theory in sociology proposal that pressure derived from social factors such as lack of education, lack of good quality education, lack of income drives an individual to commit crime. This typology was created by an American social scientist, Robert K. Merton. This typology focused primarily on disadvantaged groups, common aspirations or common expectations, and the incapacity of the one to achieve those goals is the reason behind a crime, or you may say a leading factor behind a crime. For instance, here in Pakistan, the success in our society's eyes, basically, in our society's eyes, is having a nice house and owning a nice car and a good paying job, right? They would think, oh, this guy is so successful, like he has a nice house. He has a nice house in the Defense Housing Authority, and he owns a nice car. Let's get to the point. It's pretty much just like the American dream, American dream. Okay, so everyone wants to achieve success, right? It's part of their lives. They want to be successful. They want to look good. They want to live good. So they want to be successful. But if an individual wanted to do it when the poverty is the biggest threshold in its life, it may look for other ways to achieve those things that will provide him comfort in his eyes. He may snatch purses of women on the streets. He may snatch phones. He may rob stores, etc. Okay, the third fundamental sociological hypothesis of deviance is the labeling theory. The labeling theory says instead of looking at why some social groups commit more crime, the labeling theory asks why some people committing some actions to be defined as a deviant, while others do not. Okay, so the labeling theorists note that more people commit crimes at some time in their lives, but not everyone becomes defined as a deviant. Okay, for example, if a person prays a lot, he prays 5 times a day, he's doing a lot of good work in his daily life, but one day he was caught stealing something from a store as minor as a biscuit. So a label thief may be given to him by the society, by the shop owner, or by the people who was watching him, who caught him, right? They would label him as a thief, right? So all his work would eventually go in vain. Another example is that a person who stay late at work, a person who stay late at work is usually seen as worthy of praise, right? You would praise that, oh, he's so hardworking, he's so hardworking, he's doing a night shift and etc. But if the same person was labeled as a thief, so people might be get suspicious that he will eventually steal something from the office, right? Okay. So the fourth point is the fundamental. So the fourth is the conflict theory. The fourth fundamental social postulates of Deviance is the conflict theory. The conflicting view states that the anxiety and conflict arise when resources, status, and power are shared unequally between groups in society, and that these conflicts are cause of a social change. Because of these imbalances in our society, certain gatherings will act aberrantly to change their conditions or may just carry on. For example, the modern day feminism is the primary example of this conflict theory, because they do not accept the way the women are treated. The less paycheck they are getting, the less paycheck they are getting as compared to the men, or the other privileges the men are getting but the women are not, so they are protesting against it, and they're not accepting that the society, they are not basically accepting what was coming from the past, what was our elders were our what our elders were carrying, the legacy that men will work, basically men will work and the women will stay home, but they are pausing it. They're saying they want to work, they want equal paychecks. Another example I could think of right now is the Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matters, the movement, which was for the murder of the George Floyd uh, in USA. He was actually innocent. He was doing nothing, but the police decided to kill him. It was, according to them, was an accident, but it was not. It's basically how people get treated, how black people get treated in America. But that's another discussion. Okay, so these were the four primary sociological speculations of deviance that exist in our society, and now Mr. Hasham will take it from here.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Sham and I am going to present what is the difference between the deviant behavior and criminal behavior. Deviant behavior is the violation of social norms and folkways, like use abusive language and wrong words, try to discomfort the others. But criminal behavior is the violation of law or constitution. ठीक है, for example murder, rape and theft, etc. We can say that every crime is a deviance, but every deviance is not a crime. जैसे कि for example murder is a crime but it also a deviance. But abusive language is not a crime but it is a deviance. Deviance basically have two types. Formal deviance and informal deviance. Informal deviance is the deviance in which someone tried to violate the social norms, which are the norms which cannot be codified in law, and law is not responsible for these, for such action like use abusive language and try to harass others, etc. But for formal deviance, law is law take important actions. For example, for example, for murder, robbery, theft, these are the formal deviance behaviors, and also law take action for them, and law has proper punishment for them. For example, for the murder, law has section 302 and 302, etc. These are the two types, and for further discussion I am going to call Muhammad.
My name is Muhammad Noor, and today the topic of my discussion is causes of deviant behavior. So there are five main causes of deviant behavior. The first one is broken families with improper socialization. The second cause is absence of religious education. The third main cause is parentless child. The fourth main cause is absence of basic facilities, and the fifth main cause is dismissal by labor. So today I am going to discuss the main cause of deviant behavior. So the main cause of deviant behavior is broken family with improper socialization. So broken family with improper socialization. Family is the first institution teaching norms of social life. Parents play important role in the process. If one of the parents are absent by death or some other reason, the child failed to get proper learning, required affection, and need satisfaction in the family. He become disturbed emotionally and seek protection in the company of other outside his family. He learns antisocial activities like smoking, gambling, pickpocketing, abusing, and telling lies, and he become a criminal in adulthood. So now I will discuss another example in Urdu, and which is एब्सेंस ऑफ रिलीजियस एजुकेशन. हमारे माशरे में रिलीजियस एजुकेशन बहुत ज़रूरी है. लोग इसको इतना सीरियस नहीं लेते, लेकिन ये एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट कॉज है डिविएंट बिहेवियर का. मैं एक मिसाल देता हूँ आपको कि एक शख्स जिसके पास एजुकेशन की कमी और एक वो गरीब इंसान है, तो वो अपना पेट पालने के लिए, अपने बच्चों का पेट पालने के लिए चोरी करके पैसे कमाता है, क्योंकि उसके घर का पेट नहीं चलता. अब इस इधर एक चीज़ ये है कि अगर उसके पास रिलीजियस एजुकेशन होती अपने मज़हब की, तो उसमें उसको इस चीज़ का पता चलता कि चोरी करना कितना बड़ा गुनाह है और इसके आखिरत में कितने नुकसानात हैं. तो वो इस बात को मद्देनज़र रख के मेहनत करके कुछ ना कुछ कमाता. लेकिन एब्सेंस ऑफ एजुकेशन जो हमारे पाकिस्तान में, इसका बहुत ही बुरा हाल है. लोग ज़्यादातर बाहर के मुल्कों को देख के अपने मज़हब से दूर हो रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से हमारे मुल्क का हाल दिन ब दिन बद से बदतर होता जा रहा है. तो जो मेरा मेन टॉपिक यही है कि रिलीजियस एजुकेशन बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि ये हमें अच्छाई और बुराई में फ़र्क का बताता है कि कौन सा जो रास्ता है वो सही है और कौन सा रास्ता गलत है. तो इसलिए रिलीजियस एजुकेशन एक बहुत ही ज़रूरी चीज़ है जो हमारे माशरे में नहीं है. तो मैं इसको रिकमेंड करूँगा, क्योंकि ये एक मेन रीज़न है जो डिवियंस को ख़त्म कर सकती है, रिलीजियस एजुकेशन. अब मैं नाउ फॉर द फर्दर डिस्कशन आई एम कॉलिंग उमैर अरशद.
Now, I will explain people's perspective on deviant and criminal behavior. People sometimes view deviant behavior as uncomfortable. Like if we are sitting with our friend or family, a person start picking their nose. It's uncomfortable for us. Another example, like in our family, a person who is drug addicted. हम उससे बात करना, हम उसके साथ बैठना अनकंफर्टेबल फील करते हैं. इसी तरह जो मोस्टली हम जानते हैं कि हिंदू फैमिली में लोग जो हैं वो वेजिटेरियन होते हैं. अगर उसी फैमिली में से एक बंदा वो मीट खाना शुरू कर दे तो बाकी लोगों को अनकंफर्टेबल फील करेंगे. द अदर थिंग, इट कुड कॉज अनरेस्ट. लाइक एक लड़की है, उसने शॉर्ट क्लोथ्स पहने और वो विलेज में जाती है. सो इट कुड कॉज अनरेस्ट बिकॉज कि मोस्टली जो फीमेल्स हैं वहाँ की वो स्टे एट होम एंड दे वेयर फुल क्लोथ्स। सो जो है वहाँ के लोग क्या करेंगे, उस लड़की को मार देंगे कि ताकि हमारे लोगों पर असर ना पड़े, या वो पुलिस स्टेशन में कंप्लेन करेंगे, तो वो लड़की के लिए हार्मफुल है वहाँ। सो द अदर थिंग इज दैट कि नाउ डेज हम देख रहे हैं कि जो इसराइल है इसराइल है वो अटैक करा प्लेजेंट टाइम पे, सो द पीपल्स प्रोटेस्टेड अगेंस्ट इसराइल, सो द पीपल थॉट दैट इट्स अ क्रिमिनल बिहेवियर ऑफ इसराइल. Now with the time it can acceptable like that homosexual invest. पास्ट टाइम में इट कुड कॉज अनरेस्ट कि लोग देखते थे और कहते थे वो मर्डर करते थे उसी टाइम. नाउ इट्स विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम इट्स एक्सेप्टेबल इन्वेस्ट. सो उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है इट्स ओके. नाउ लाइक इन पाकिस्तान इन पाकिस्तान लाइक के लोग पहले समझते थे कि लड़की जो है वो अपनी मर्ज़ी की पसंद से शादी नहीं कर सकती, वो पेरेंट्स की मर्ज़ी से करती है. विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम लोगों ने कहा कि नहीं कि अब लड़कियां अपनी मर्ज़ी से शादी कर सकती हैं. इट इज़ एक्सेप्टेबल इन अवर सोसाइटी. थैंक यू सो मच.